Hey everybody. So you got the 1-5 bounce. Maybe you got the high-low notes figured out. Just something to keep you a steady beat. If you're in G, then that's fine. Okay. Maybe you're in a high C. Okay, that's great. Or a low C. But you feel kind of stuck. All right. Maybe you want to play a little bit more. You just want to sound like you know what you're doing a little bit, right? So what you can do is you can play a high-low bounce. Okay. So instead of calling this a 1-5, I call it a 1-5-1. So what you'll do instead is you're trying to look for a high for the high 1 or the low 1. You want to play the 5, and then you want to play the opposite 1 in the other register. So either high or low. It just depends on which way you're working. Okay. You'll hear a lot of really good guitar players play this kind of beat behind somebody. Okay. So if I'm doing that in G, instead of playing 1, 5. Okay. So 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. D, G, D, G, D. I have another G note right here on the low register. That's an option. Okay. So I can start with this G, or I can start with my high G. Okay, so if I start high G, it's going to be 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. Okay, or I can start with the low G. 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5, 1, 5. You'll hear a lot of guitar players play this beat right here because it's very natural over their G chord. Okay, 1, 5, 1, 5. All right, now you can do this option through a lot of different keys or a lot of different chords. Okay, so you can play, I prefer to do it over something like F. So if I'm playing, I'm going to need that low F note right there, which is just 1/2 step up off your E string, right? Tricky part is getting to it because you have to go down here and then you have to know how to make that gap. Now my hand's not strong enough or big enough to make this. All right, I'm not Todd Phillips, but I can just make that jump quick enough. Alright? And it works fine. Now you should get a medal, dear, for every broken heart. Alright, so if you want to play something at F, it works. For many years I've been a rolling stone. You need to go to B flat there. Darling. Now, since I ended here on a low F for that particular one, I might want to stay there and double up on it to go back to the original key. Like a drifter, I have run from place to go to a C, and I might stay here. Place. Fortune never came to me, and know how happy I could be if I could look again just upon your smiling face. Okay, so it works over several different keys. Now you are limited based on what you want to do. Okay, just by the way this thing's tuned. So I can do this over an A if I play a low A. And there I have a lower E, so there's my 1 and 5. Or I can go higher, so I can play low A, mid E, and I can play a high A. So I can go, and it's still just 1 and 5. That's all it is, okay? So it's nothing complicated, nothing fancy, but you're adding a little bit more depth to your playing. The trick is, you just got to make sure that you play it so that way you end up on the ones in the right place, especially over chord changes. Okay, so I can do the same thing over E. If I play low E, it works just fine. All right, even over 3/4 time. Some people drink champagne out under the stars, while others drink wine leaning over a bar. Whoops. Forgot where I was. Okay, so I can also do the same thing over, I guess B would work if I play a low B. So you'll hear them playing B and F sharp, so there's your 1 and 5. Okay, but you can also play the high B with it.